So some of the meetings coming up, the district meetings, we are, as I said, doing more community outreach and having district meetings, and that's opposed to the larger community meetings, because we feel the district meetings are probably more beneficial. There'll be more meetings held by districts. Some of the districts are combining, but it's also an opportunity for smaller groups and an opportunity for more people to speak out. Because sometimes when we have the large community meetings, the conversation can get dominated by a small number of people, and not everyone has the time or to get up and speak. So we're trying this as an example to district meetings, and they're going to be held on a regular basis. So District 4 councillors are going to be holding their district meetings the last Wednesday of every month. Their next meeting will be Wednesday, September 27th from 7 to 9 in the Tuscarora Room at Dajo. District 1, 2, and 3 councillors are going to be holding a combined districts meeting on Monday, September 25th. And at that time, they'll be talking to the community about the hydro sales or the acquisition of hydro shares that I mentioned earlier. And we will have staff there. Amy Lickers from the Chiefs of Ontario will be there to answer questions about the deal and to provide information. Anybody is welcome, even though it's the District 1, 2, and 3. Everybody in the community who has questions is welcome to attend that session, as well as the District 5 and 6 session, which is going to be held on Wednesday, September 20th. And they're going to be talking about the same issue, the acquisition of hydro sales. So we want that information out there because we need to make a decision on council whether we want to be part of the deal or not. As I said, it's very similar to the gaming. There's no risk, there's no liability. We don't have to put any money into this deal. It's not going to affect any of our Aboriginal treaty rights or any of our land claim struggles. So, business people that I've talked to said that it is a very good deal for our community. We won't see any money for a few years because it is a long-term investment for our future generations. And if we need to make a decision as a council whether we want to be a part of it, because they want to have at least 106 First Nations communities who will agree. If they don't agree, you don't get any of it. So if Six Nations decides, no, we're not going to be part of this deal, we will get nothing out of the deal. And the money that would have been coming to us will just go back in the pot and will increase the money that all the other First Nations get. So do look at the information, do come out to the meetings and ask your questions or give us a call. So some of the meetings and engagements that have taken place since our last update. On August 14th, I attended a meeting on child welfare with the Federal Minister of Indigenous Affairs and the Minister of Indigenous Affairs and Child and Youth from the province. I also attended the Association of the Municipalities of Ontario annual conference in Ottawa on August 14th and 15th. This was a meeting of all the mayors in the province, and it was the day I attended. All of the Ontario cabinet ministers were there in a bear pit session, so I had an opportunity to speak to quite a few of them. I also, in Ottawa, had joined Mayor Ken Hewitt from Haldimand County in a meeting with the Minister of Infrastructure for Ontario, Bob Chiarelli. We talked about possible funding opportunities to get a water line on Highway 6 from Hagersville to Caledonia. That road is going to be resurfaced next year, so they're going to be digging it up anyway, and we thought it would be an opportune time to try and get money to put the water line in as well as already dug up. This would be good for Six Nations because we might be able to get spin-offs from that line if it goes through into our territory, into our community. I also had a meeting with the ambassador of Ecuador while I was in Ottawa, and we talked about possible future trade with each other and doing cultural exchanges, student exchanges, and education exchanges. So I've also invited him to visit our community, and we'll continue to follow up. On August 18th, we had representatives of the YMCA in Greater Toronto visit Six Nations. They wanted to find out more about our Beyond the Bell program and our summer program. And on August 20th and 21st, Councillor Ray Miracle, Jan Burning, and myself attended a Northern Border Crossing Summit with U.S. tribes, and it was held in Shakopee, Minnesota. We are starting to work with them on border crossing issues, and we're going to do joint advocacy work in both Ottawa and Washington, D.C. We've also formed an alliance to work together on these issues. And on the 23rd of August, I was back in Ottawa to participate with the Political Confederacy of the Chiefs of Ontario in a meeting with the federal government's working group on the reform of federal laws and policies. This group is chaired by the Attorney General, Jody Wilson-Raybould, and there were 4 other cabinet ministers who were in attendance. we're going to continue work on this, and eventually, and I think in the new year, start reaching out to the community on some of this stuff, because it does will include a review of the Indian Act. On the 25th of August, I provided greetings at the 25th anniversary of GREAT. Congratulations to them. And on the 29th and 30th, Councillors Carl Hill, Terry General, and Charlie Wayne Martin attended the Iroquois Caucus, which was held in Tyendinaga. And just as a follow-up to the federal government working group on the review of federal laws and policies, I took part in a retreat that the Political Confederacy of the Chiefs of Ontario held in Toronto on September 5th and 6th.